Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the channel. I'm, of course, your host, Droodles, Blitz, and in today's video, we are finally playing in the Concept 1B, the Tier 10 Christmas Tank. Now, this is a vehicle that I have had a lot of lead-up talking about. I've been very worried about this thing coming into the matchmaker because, at least from my point of view, this tank looked like a pretty overpowered vehicle. And I can tell you after playing it that my expectations have come true. This tank is by far the best Tier 10 in Blitz currently to get your hands on, and I do think it's an overpowered tank. The reason is because it has no weakness. The T-54 E2 Shark is one of the highest performing Tier 8s in the game. And why is that? Well, it's because its turret is great, its hull armor is great, its mobility is fantastic, it's got a good gun, it has no weakness. And this tank, imagine a Shark just at Tier 10. You go up to the gun, it's got 2651 DPM, 0.293 dispersion, and an aiming time of 3.4 seconds. All of those values there are fantastic for Tier 10 Heavy. Obviously, you could run Gun Rammer, get it up to 2850 DPM, but you do have bad heat pen at 310, so I am running it, obviously, with Cali to get it up to 340, but once you're at 340, because the gun's so accurate, I really haven't noticed an issue with penetration. For the accuracy-wise as well, I am running Refined Gun over vertical stabilizers because this tank actually has fantastic on-movement dispersion values. So when you're driving the vehicle, it doesn't bloom much, so I'd rather have a much better and precise aiming circle, which this tank greatly benefits off of. So it's accurate, it's got good DPM. Mobility-wise, well, it goes 45 forwards, 18 in reverse, with a power-to-weight ratio of 18.1, making this tank about the same mobility as medium tanks on flat ground. Yeah, again, pretty busted. And when we break into the gun depression, it's got 10 degrees, 20 degrees of gun elevation, and a turret that is virtually impenetrable from the front. So let's talk about that armor. What is it like? Well, this is a Ho-Ri, the Tier 10 tank destroyer aiming at the vehicle, with premium ammunition. Now, we all know what a Ho-Ri can do. Let me just put in comparison here, just before we break into this tank. This is what a T110E5 turret looks like against a Ho-Ri with premium AP. I mean, there is just pen everywhere. Let's get a stronger tank. How about an E6 turret? Yeah. I mean, the Ho-Ri, it butters through it. How about an IS-7 turret? I mean, the IS-7's got quite a strong turret, doesn't it? It's, oh, yeah, no, the Ho-Ri just goes right through it. So, as we said, let's go get out the Concept 1B's turret. Oh yeah, you can't pen it. They actually buff the turret before they release the tank. It is virtually impenetrable from the front unless you hit that, which, I mean, good luck. I'll watch. I haven't been penned once in the turret out of the 8 games I've played in it so far. It's stupid. The upper plate at this angle is 340 thick. The only reason it looks so hard to penetrate is because the Ho-Ri's aiming at it. If we get like your average Tier 10 Heavy and use Cali and Heat, you can't pen it. So hold down, you cannot pen this tank. The side armor, as you can see, has very stupid angles, which means that you physically can't even pen AP at this angle on flat ground. Why? Why? It's so stupid. So there's the armor, there's the statistics. Now let's get into, of course, the replays. Now these replays are from the live stream that I just performed in, so some of you might have already seen these replays, but we're going to start off with the Himmelsdorf one. The Canal one was a mastery, but I think this Himmelsdorf one really showcases just why this tank is kind of overpowered. Not kind of, it is overpowered. If anybody doesn't think that this tank is too strong in Tier 10, I'm going to be honest, you got the wrong opinion. It's not even possible. I've already talked to some of the clans that are in comp, and they are going to use this tank in competitive. This is a vehicle that will be used in comp. It is mobile. It is an E5 before it was nerfed, but with no weak spots frontally. It is a stupid, stupid tank. So what does the enemy team have? Well, they got a 60 TP, a Kranvong, VK90. They got some strong tanks, and obviously we're going to push our vehicle right up on in the position. There's a nice shot into the Kranvong for 404. One of the nice things I've noticed about this tank is even though it has 380 alpha, you don't really feel bad when you roll 380 because you know that it's not a low roll. And a lot of times when you're with like a 400 damage gun and you always roll like 350, it is really irritating. You don't really have that problem with this tank. By the way, you can see the ridiculous amount of accuracy this vehicle has. So already we've managed to block 530 damage, and we've been HE'd as well, so I'll add on like another 400 damage there. Unfortunately, that shell, while it did hit the weak spot of the Kranvong, did not end up penetrating its vehicle, but that's all fine. There you go, heat shell bouncing from that vehicle, 374 millimeters of pen, no problem. HE shell again. I mean, you know the armor is stupid on this tank when the enemy is resorting to high explosive ammunition. There you go, another nice shot into the 60 TP's lower plate there. Now we're sitting at 1600 damage with probably, with the HEs counted in here, oh, yeah, there you go. AP shell from an E3, bounce there. Nice shot into his weak spot. So we're probably at around 2300 damage blocked. Let's see if this Kranvong can pen me. Oh, wait, that's right. He doesn't even want to shoot me. Let's aim it on this E3 again. Boom, right into the weak spot. And, yeah, I mean, literally, this guy is just okay, I guess I'm just not going to pen him. That's basically what he's probably thinking right now. He is literally given up. And the saddest part is he's in a Kron. That's a tank that should be hard to pen. Well, guess what? We're going to dome him again in the roof. That's 1,200 hit points we've taken off of that guy now. And we're sitting at 2,465 on the pallet. So I wanted to showcase this game to put in the realization that this tank is literally impenetrable. Oh, by the way, yeah, there you go. Again, fair and balanced, you know, accuracy moment. So this was just an example to showcase that you can't be penned in this vehicle. If I sit in a scenario like this, I am impenetrable. Literally impenetrable unless you shoot high explosive. So I just want to show you, this is what the enemy team sees of my vehicle in this scenario. That is what they see. Now, it's just impossible to pen it at that angle. Let me see what it looks like from the Klandong's point of view. So he's aiming here. Yeah, I mean, what is the enemy supposed to do here, guys? What is this? Like, what the heck? It's impossible to pen. My cupola, well, as you can see, it is hidden because I'm using gun depression. There is a weak spot, but you can't see it when you're hull down. So, yeah, fair and balanced. That's all I can say. So at this moment I realized, well, I'm not doing anything over here. How about I make my way over to the VK90? Let's use that decent damage per minute and get some more shells out. Boom! There's my 3,000 damage. And a nice roll as well at 408. So we're sitting at 3,200 so far this battle. And you'll notice the reload's actually really nice on this vehicle because it has such a lower alpha at 20 damage. It actually gives it about a half a second better reload than even a vehicle like the T95E6 that has the same DPM. And that's nice because now any vehicle that has 400 alpha or even mediums, you kind of feel like you can actually trade with because your alpha is a little bit lower, your shot effectiveness seems a bit better. But there you go, that was the first game in the Concept 1B, and that's really all you needed to see to realize how stupid this tank is. When you add on the mobility plus that side armor, I mean, there's no wonder why this tank is so stupid. So now let's go into the Canal game. Again, this is a pretty tricky map. You need gun depression for Canal. Well, that's check. Got it. You need mobility for Canal because you want to deal with the mediums first. Check. Got that. Is there anything else you need? Well, you need decent DPM, I guess. What is the biggest issue with the Klandong? Well, it's DPM. The ability to not clear tanks fast enough. I love the Kron. Don't get me wrong. It's got really good DPM once you've got your clip loaded. But the issue is that it just takes so long to clear an enemy vehicle. The tank itself does fine. It's still a very strong tank, as I've made, I think, 1 or 2 videos on it after they nerfed it. The tank can still very easily hold its own because, I mean, its turret is basically impenetrable hull down. But the issue with the Klandong is just that it doesn't have DPM. It doesn't have pushing capabilities. It's slow, its side armor is bad, its hull armor is weak, and it just doesn't do a great job pushing. This tank, look at the mobility we're doing here. We're doing 44, 45 kilometers per hour. This is medium levels of mobility, and we're in a heavy that has good armor. It has everything going for it. So here we go. We've got, what, an M48 patent on the enemy team, an Object 907. We've got an IS-4, Ivan Hundared, Object 907, VK90. And I will say, if anybody tried using the poor heat penetration as a balance example, I do think that it, yes, does have poor heat penetration, but 340 is plenty to cut through enemy opponents. I have already cut through an E100 turret plenty of times while testing this vehicle. And as you saw last game, 60 TP, I mean, you still butter right through the tank. The amount of upsides this vehicle has compared to the one downside of not even bad heat pen is pretty stupid. That shell there was just a little unfortunate. You can see there's a teeny bit of server lag, so he was able to turn his turret before our shell velocity hit him. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. This tank also has 1,500 shell velocity, the same as a Chieftain Mark 6. Yes, that is right. This vehicle shell velocity is the same as mediums at tier 10, meaning that, yeah, pretty busted. So, this game, we're already at 1,200 damage. We've got an Object 907. You can see I was a little worried about tank destroyers. I know that in this spot, I'm currently impervious to enemy TDs, but I wasn't sure exactly where they were. So I was waiting for 1 or 2 of them to get detected, but you guys know I'm a pretty antsy player, so I was just thinking about it. I was like, okay, what do I want to do here? So we got the 907 aiming in, and oh, there goes my teammate in front of me. Because of that, we didn't get that shell out. But there you go, both TDs are spotted, and that gives me the green light to go ahead and start moving up. So we got the 907 in front, we got the Tortoise, who's just kind of put himself in a really bad scenario, and oh, we're about to get this 907, oh, wait a sec, that's right, a VK90. Now, as I said before, I'm running Refined Gun on this vehicle, and you'll notice the aiming time is quite nice. So what that means is, with my .293 dispersion, I can aim right in on this vehicle's lower plate. Again, easy shot. I was waiting. I was like, huh, am I going to shoot? But yeah, there you go. Another nice shot into the lower plate of that VK90. That's 2 shells, about 800 hit points we've taken off there. And, I mean, again, who cares? Doesn't really hurt. Another nice thing about this tank is its heat penetration is kind of bad. But what isn't bad is the heat damage. Even though you lose 20 damage per shot on your standard ammo, you only lose 10 damage per shot on your premium, which basically isn't a loss on damage. It's going to take you 10 penetrations of heat to lose 100 damage. Oh, no. Wow. Yeah, it's really not going to change anything. If you lose a battle due to 100 hit points, then I'll let you tell me that I was wrong. But for the most part, yeah. So, what do we have here? We got a VK90 that is still chilling there. We got a Waffenträger and a Tortoise. Now, you are going to notice something here at the end of this battle. While the armor is very good on this tank, hull down. On flat ground, the armor is not amazing. By the way, pretty good on movement dispersion, as you can see. We're already sitting at 3,200 damage this battle. But as I said, the armor on flat ground is bad. Its upper plate's like 250, and the enemy team is a Waffenträger, and obviously 250 millimeters is enough to cut right through this vehicle. So make sure that you don't over-angle the track wheels on this vehicle. It is an American heavy, and what that means is its track wheels are very easy to penetrate. So we're going to see what we can do here. We've got this Waffenträger. That time he couldn't really do anything to me. I'm going to let my VK90 get cleared by this, hopefully, 121B. That guy missed, and what the plan was is I was just going to drive forwards, let the 121 finish him off, but we both had the same idea to finish off that guy. But there you go. 121 finishes that guy off. I got a shell into the Waffenträger. Max roll as well, so I'm not going to complain. And there you go. 4,400 damage dealt. And, yeah, that is a victory at that, folks. This is the Concept 1B. It is a tank that, in my opinion, is way too strong in its current state, but since it is a collector and it is a tank that costs money, it will no longer be nerfed. What I will say about this tank is do not buy it. While it may sound kind of contradictory, what I just told you is a massive review on this tank being overpowered, how it's the best tier 10, but to get your hands on this vehicle, I did some math, crunch some numbers, it's about $500 to $1,000 to get it guaranteed. That's not good numbers. That is really bad. Getting a tier 10 for $500 is not worth your time or money. Save your money, wait maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 months for the Wargaming to bring it out in crates if you really want it. That'll have charms. Get it that way. It'll be $100, $200 if you're unlucky. That is a way better way to get your hands on this vehicle than getting your hands on it through the Blitz fair. Please do not buy this tank, as I've said many times. So if there are people in the comments that say, oh, I'm a shield for Wargaming, I'm saying right here, do not buy the tank. It is not worth it right now. $500 is not worth a bunch of pixels on your screen. Hopefully, all of you enjoyed today's video, and other than that, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!